This automation pulls the top AI stories every morning, filters them with real Python, and ships me a digest. It just ran in 4.5 seconds, and it will never cost me a cent, no matter how many times it fires. Here's the experiment. I built the exact same automation twice. Once in n8n, the tool everyone recommends, and once in a tool you've probably never heard of, that Apple and JP Morgan quietly run. One of them counts every single run you make and bills you when you pass the line. The other doesn't even have a counter. And buried in n8n's license, on their own GitHub, there's one sentence that most people selling automations have never read, and it changes everything. By the end of this video, you'll have this exact automation running on your own machine for free. The one-line install, the full workflow file, everything. And you'll leave with a simple 4-part rule for when n8n is still the right call. And when it's quietly costing you money, you don't need to spend. First, the meter. This is n8n's own pricing page. The starter cloud plan, €20 a month for 2,500 executions. An execution is one run of one workflow. My morning digest is one run a day. That's harmless. But automations don't stay harmless. Hook one to a webhook. Every form submission, every new lead, every incoming email is a run. You burn through the cap while you sleep, and then the meter stops your automations until you upgrade. Fine, you say. Self-host the community edition. It's free. It is. But look at what's logged out of it. Git version control. Separate dev and production environments. External secret stores. Single sign-on. Those aren't luxury add-ons. That's basic safety equipment for anything real. But the meter isn't the real catch. The real catch is this sentence in n8n's license file on their own GitHub. Quote, you may use or modify the software only for your own internal business purposes or for non-commercial or personal use. Read it again. Internal. Your own business. n8 is not open source. It's what they call fair code. The moment you host n8 and sell automations to clients as a service, you've stepped outside that license. There's a separate embed program they expect you to pay for. Now think about how many freelancers are selling automation setups on the side right now. Every one of them building on n8n's hosted service path owes that sentence a very careful read. So meet the tool that refuses to play this game. Kestra. The license is Apache 2.0, the same license as Kubernetes. Use it commercially, host it for clients, build a business on it, all explicitly allowed. There is no execution counter anywhere in the product. It's sitting at almost 28,000 GitHub stars. This spring, they raised $25 million, and their announcement lists Apple, Toyota, and JP Morgan Chase among the 30,000 organizations running it. Version 2.0 just shipped. This is not a weekend project. This is infrastructure software that happens to be actually free. Let's build. Install is one Docker command. That's the whole setup. It runs on your laptop. And here's the part that sold me. The entire automation is one YAML file, and you can read it like a recipe. Task 1. Fetch the top stories from Hacker News. Task 2. Real Python, not a sandbox toy language, actual Python. Filters for AI keywords and builds the digest. Task 3. Ship it. And at the bottom, a schedule trigger. Every morning, 8 a.m. one file. 6 lines of logic. If you can read this, you can maintain it. And it lives in Git, like the rest of your code. Hit execute. 4.5 seconds, green across the board. There's the Gantt chart. Every task timed, every log captured. And there's the payoff. The actual top AI stories from this morning, scored and sorted, sitting in my digest. This is a real run on my machine today, not a demo reel. Run it once, run it 10,000 times. The bill is identical, 0. And here's a moment I didn't script. My first version had a bug. The keyword filter matched the letters AI inside the word cocktail. So a cocktail recipe post walked straight into my AI digest. I fixed one line and saved, and Kestra kept both versions, full revision history, side-by-side diff, the fix highlighted, built-in, free, automatic. That's the Git style safety net, n8n locks, behind its paid tiers. And here it's just how the tool works. The n8n rebuild surprised me. That's next. If this just saved you 20 euros a month, subscribe. Every video here does this. Now, the other side of the experiment. And I'm going to be fair because n8n deserves fair. Same automation, rebuilt in n8n. The visual editor is genuinely lovely, but watch the shape of the thing. What was one readable file is now 6 nodes wired together. Schedule, fetch, a code node to slice the list, another fetch, another code node to filter and format, then set the output. And that code node? Sandboxed JavaScript. No installing packages, no real Python. It ran perfectly. Green ticks everywhere. Same digest. Self-hosted for your own internal use? It really is free. That's the honest truth about n8n. Capable, polished, and fenced. The fence is the product. And when you outgrow one morning digest, this is where Kestra stops being an n8n stand-in and becomes something bigger. Their announcement says 2 billion workflow executions ran through it last year. It's event-driven. Flows that react to a file landing, a message hitting a queue, a webhook firing. There are over 1900 plugins: Postgres, Kafka, Spark, S3, dbt, and yes, an Anthropic plugin, so your workflows can call Claude as a step. Your flows deploy from Git with Terraform if you want. This is the same shape of tool as Airflow, except your whole team can read the files. So here's the decision rule I'd actually use. Stay on n8n if all three are true. The automations are for you or your own company. You live in the visual editor, and the meter never touches you. Move to Kestra the day any one of these becomes true. A workflow runs more times than you can count. You need real code, real Python, real packages. You want Git, environments, and secrets without paying tier tax. Or you build automations for anyone other than yourself. Because that one isn't about features, it's the license. Fair warning on Kestra 2, caveats next to the claim. The interface is more engineer flavored than n8n's. Its enterprise tier also locks things like single sign-on and role controls. And being Java, it wants a couple of gigs of memory. Nothing is perfect. This is just the honest trade. Your 5-minute start today. 1. Install Docker if you don't have it. 2. Run the one-line Kestra command on screen. It's in the free pack too. 3. Open localhost, paste my workflow file, and hit execute. You'll watch your first flow go green on the spot. 4. Change the keywords to your own topic and the schedule to your own morning. Everything I built today, the digest workflow plus a website monitor flow and an AI report flow with the Docker command and an n8n to Kestra migration map, is in the free Kestra Starter Pack. Comment the word Kestra and my bot sends it to you directly. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. The starter pack is free. Comment the word Kestra and my bot sends it straight to you, or grab it at hyperautomationlabs.co/free/Kestra. Getting started with AI coding tools? My paid beginner guides are linked below. The complete Claude Code Guide, the OpenAI Codex Guide, the Claude Cowork Sales Guide, and the Claude Architect Prep Kit. The builds behind these videos live on Instagram at Hyperautomation Labs. Here's what changed today. You now know the difference between software that's free and software that counts your runs and reads your business plan. The meter was never about server costs, it was a business model, and you just walked around it. The next rig is already warming up. See you in the next one.